Hi.
Hello, I'm Joanna. I'm a midwife in London, and I'm with my friend Nissa, who is also a midwife and teaches hypnobirthing.
Hi guys. What are we talking about today, Jo?
We wanted to tell you a little bit about cervical sweeps. Because we talked about we've already talked about natural ways that might help to bring your labour on.
So if you haven't seen that, it's the last video.
Yeah.
Pretty good. But lots and lots of mums, they come to me and they ask me, what is
a sweep? So we just thought we'd describe exactly what it is. And tell you what the cervix is, which Nissa's going to explain.
So, the cervix is a mystery to many, a thing of beauty. I remember probably when I was pregnant with my daughter about 8-9 years ago, I had no idea what my cervix was. I must emphasise that I was also not a midwife.
Yes, at the time. That would be worrying.
A little bit concerning. So ladies and partners, if you don't know where or what your cervix is, that's okay. So just in a quick summary, you've got your womb or your uterus, ladies. So Joe's you're gonna be my model, Jo.
Oh yes, I'll stand up and show you. So before you're pregnant, it starts off down here. And then as you get more and more pregnant, it moves and moves, it moves up, and your baby's inside that. The baby's inside the water balloon.
The water balloon, the womb, the lovely protected big old muscle, and then at the bottom of your womb, you have your cervix or your neck of the womb. And it's a bit like, basically it's like a fist underneath your uterus, which is very powerful, very strong.
And it's that you need to open up. When you have the contractions, the object of those contractions is to open the cervix up and to make the cervix disappear so the baby can come down.
Exactly.
If you imagine a donut.
Oh.
Well.
Ring or jam?
A ring donut.
Ring
yeah,
donut.
exactly.
Ring donut.
You imagine a donut. A donut. Well, you might start off with a jam one.
Okay.
And then as the labour goes on, you're getting a donut with the ring inside that's getting bigger and bigger and bigger until it disappears.
So the donut is
sometimes
gone.
I demonstrate it for women on my knee, like that.
Yeah, that's a good way. I like that. I've not seen that before. Right. So, let's think about, that's what your cervix is. So why might someone be offered a sweep?
So the NICE guidelines, which is the National Institute of Clinical Excellence, which are national guidelines that hospitals are invited to use, and they may do an approximation of those guidelines in their own hospital guidelines, is to offer women a sweep anytime from 40 weeks. Some trusts will offer a sweep after 40 weeks. And that's what we want to describe, what a sweep is and what happens. So before you're in labour, the consistency of your cervix is often likened to the end of your nose, like where you sort of can feel the
Everybody
bone.
feel your nose.
So it's sort of hard, rigid, closed. This is when you haven't had a baby before. And also quite far back, what we call posterior. And in the process of labour, before actual active labour is kicking in, then the cervix will come forwards, and from being hard, rigid and closed, it will become soft, stretchy, thin and opening up.
Beautiful, like a flower.
Like a flower.
Ladies.
Like a flower. And in a sweep, the objective that the midwife has is to reach your cervix, first of all, and see if she or he can do a sweep to separate the membranes from the cervix. The membranes are like the water balloon that the baby's inside.
I'm going to demonstrate, Jo. So ladies, that's internally your cervix. So
the midwife will pop on a glove, she'll put some lubricant on the glove, and she will ask you to get into position similar as when you've had sweeps, if you've had a smear, if you're 25 or over before, but without using that thing that she used.
No speculum.
No speculum. Yeah.
And then she'll reach inside your vagina. It could be a man, not many male midwives, but hats off to the ones.
Amazing ones.
There are some amazing
She may ask you to put your fists under your bum like that, and that's just to tilt the direction of your pelvis and to make it more possible to find the cervix.
Beautiful. And then she'll reach inside your vagina and see if she can actually even reach your cervix. So if it's posterior, it's at the back, she might not be able to reach it. If it's started to change and come forward a little bit, she probably can reach it. And she's going to try and put one finger or two fingers inside that little donut.
And that's what we were saying about the reason it's called a sweep is because she's trying to do this.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And so you may tolerate it, you may not tolerate it. People have such different sensitivities. The midwife will be communicating with you throughout. If you can take it, great, go for it. If it feels unbearable for you, don't put yourself through that.
Absolutely. So you can always say stop at any time.
And then the midwife will always listen to the baby straight after doing it, because she will have just hopefully been tickling the baby's head, and that stimulates the baby obviously, so the heart rate's likely to go up a little bit.
Exactly right. So that's the process. The question is, do you want to have a sweep or not? That's the thing, you know. It's there's no right or wrong answer, I would say, to that. It's very personal how you feel about your body, how you feel about the labour process, how you want it to begin, if you want your body to do it without any kind of intervention, or if you feel that a sweep is a very minor intervention compared to full induction of labour at hospital. You know, I think both opinions are really valid. Will it work? That's another question.
No idea. The midwife will be able to tell a lot from having done an examination on you, where your cervix is and whether it was actually possible to do the sweep. So that can give her or him information about how likely you are to go into labour.
Yeah.
But birth is a mysterious thing.
It's true. And if she can't reach your cervix, chances are it's not going to work. If she can reach your cervix and she can do it, it probably means your body's
getting ready
thinking
so
about it.
That it might not make any difference. Also worth mentioning, you may have a little bit of bleeding afterwards, and that is completely normal and nothing to worry about, and that's what your midwife will tell you.
But always call if you're concerned about bleeding or water's leaking, or anything like that. I'd say that would probably be the one major kind of con of having a sweep. Pros and cons: it does slightly increase the chance that your waters will break. Very, very small increase, but it's good to be aware of that before you go into it, so that if your waters do break, you know, at least you have that information, I would say. I think that's it, guys. That's it from us.
Bye-bye.
What do we do next time, Joe? You're too quick. You're too quick.
Because I'm enjoying my coffee.
I think next time we're talking about induction of labour. So if you're being offered it, do you want to go for it or not? Where do you get your information?
Things to think about.
Things to think about. Yeah. So see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.